happy Sunday morning, April 4th, 2021, and happy Easter, everyone. I'm Riley King, and welcome to this Sunday morning edition of the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. We have a lot of news to get to this Sunday morning, so let's begin. First up, we're going to take a look at your COVID-19 numbers in New Hampshire. Let's take a look at those right now. And here is a look at those COVID-19 numbers in New Hampshire. There are 85,448 number of people in New Hampshire tested positive for COVID-19. There are 1,247 number of deaths from COVID-19 in New Hampshire. There are 85 current number of hospitalizations for COVID-19 in New Hampshire. State reports 2 new COVID-19 deaths Saturday. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
To be a part of the team at Caesar Chimney Service, the only prerequisite is be just a little bit crazy. We can train you to do everything that we do. The perfect employee is somebody that just wants to work and is not scared to get...
Now. Active COVID-19 cases keep rising in New Hampshire. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Cherise LeClaire. There are now 3,681 current cases. That's the highest level since February. 440 new cases were reported today. That is the 5th day in a row now with more than 400 new cases. And right now, 85 patients are in New Hampshire hospitals with coronavirus. There were 19 new hospitalizations over the last 2 days, and there are 2 more deaths tonight. One of them connected to a long-term care facility.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Yesterday in New Hampshire was red flag warning issued for much of New Hampshire yesterday. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
To be a part of the team at Caesar Chimney Service, the only prerequisite is be just a little bit crazy. We can train you to do everything that we do.
Today's weather conditions called for the National Weather Service to issue its first red flag warning in New Hampshire this year, and fire danger is high.
Low humidity, high wind, and temperatures usually 40 degrees or above. All of those come together to make a critical fire weather day.
Adding to the concern is the current drought conditions, which Fire Ranger Minor says has escalated in the last week.
In New Hampshire, historically, when we've had our bigger wildfires, it's been connected to drought conditions. So we're being pretty cautious and watching the weather conditions quite closely.
Local fire departments are responding to calls like this one in Plainfield today. Fire officials say the illegal burn got away from the owner, and the fire department kept it contained to a 100 by 100 foot area of grass. Fire officials say it doesn't take much to ignite a fire right now, and this time of year they're often called for materials being improperly disposed, including cigarettes.
Cigarettes going out the windows are a huge problem, and that's typically what we see a lot of this time of year.
And if you do experience a fire, some fire departments are thin on staff due to COVID-19.
A lot of our personnel are heavily involved in the vaccination clinics, so it's reduced staffing in a lot of these departments, so the response could be a little bit reduced.
Fire officials advise that if you want to burn anything on your property, go ahead and call your local fire department first to find out about the weather conditions and the proper permits. In Loudon, Jessica Moran, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Ethiopian Granite Staters spread awareness of conflict in home country. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
I think what sets us apart is the fact that our technicians live and breathe only chimneys. It's not a part of our company, it is our company. We do everything from sweeping the chimney, maintaining the chimney, repairing the chimney, rebuilding the chimney. Our inspections are top to bottom, inside and out.
A growing conflict in Ethiopia has led to violence, starvation, and forced many to flee their homes. Video has emerged from the crisis, some of which is just too graphic for us to air. But tonight, we are hearing from a Granite Stater who is originally from there.
Please, the one thing we can't be is silent.
Samrawit Silva is pleading with Americans to use their voices because the people in her home country can't.
It's a very hard and sad situation.
Atrocities are being reported amid a 5-month-long humanitarian crisis in the Tigray region of Ethiopia. The United States Secretary of State has referred to some of the violence as, quote, acts of ethnic cleansing. Charges dismissed by Ethiopian authorities.
You have the place that you had so much pride and love for come after you and your ethnicity, your whole entire existence. This was premeditated, this war.
Silva, who was born and grew up in Tigray, says the Ethiopian government, with help from a neighboring country, is blocking electricity, communication, and basic necessities to the area.
Rape and hunger have been weaponized. So you have women and girls as young as 4 years old whose bodies have been turned into a battlefield.
Silva now lives in Bow. She was adopted, moving to New Hampshire in 2004.
My father passed away and my mother was not able to take care of myself, and I have 2 other brothers. So we were put up for adoption.
Her mother and younger siblings still live in Tigray. Though she's only spoken to her mom 3 times in the past 5 months, Silva says she's one of the lucky ones.
I've thought about trying to get my mother and my siblings out, but it's very dangerous. You know, the roads, it's not like there are open roads that you can just go into a car.
That's Silva on the bullhorn at a recent protest in Washington, D.C. She's helping to organize another rally in Boston on April 7th to encourage others to speak out.
I know it feels like it's far away, but it's people within your own community that are hurting.
And Silva is asking people to educate themselves, sign petitions, and contact their federal representatives. More information can be found on the website, standwithtigray.com.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Heavy traffic gathering from line at SNHU vaccination site. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Home runs, homecomings, and good old-fashioned home cooking. The best things in life start with home. From finding the home of your dreams to selling a home you've outgrown, the trusted professionals at Better Homes and Gardens Real Estate are here to help. Expect better. Start by calling or contacting Better Homes and Gardens Real Estate, the Masiello Group, www.masiello.com, 800-741-1540.
Some backups today around the state vaccination site at SNHU. Paul Raymond from the Department of Safety says those delays were caused by people who showed up without appointments. And once a vehicle is in the drive-through lane, there is no way to get a vehicle out of that lane. So an extra team of vaccinators was sent to the site, and everyone with an appointment will get a shot today.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Easter holiday worries health officials about possible COVID-19 spread. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Summit Packaging Systems is hiring for all shifts. Summit knows stability, security, and growth are extremely valuable. You'll develop skills to succeed and earn steady income and benefits. Apply online at summitpackagingsystems.com/careers today.
Well, it's the same message that we heard back on Thanksgiving, Christmas, and the other winter holidays. Hospitals are hoping Easter gatherings won't cause cases to increase even more.
One thing I share with people is after the Christmas holidays, we had people admitted to the hospital with COVID from family gatherings, and it's just heartbreaking to see that.
With Easter on the horizon, health officials say it's important to continue to follow COVID-19 guidelines. Under new guidance from the CDC, fully vaccinated people can have small Easter gatherings indoors with other fully vaccinated people, no masks or social distancing required. However, for people who are not vaccinated, the CDC says the safest way to celebrate is to do so virtually or with only people living in your household.
If we have a lot of people getting together that aren't vaccinated and they're not taking some of those precautions, it is likely we'll have people end up in the hospital or end up getting sick with COVID.
The urge for safety comes as COVID cases rise in New Hampshire and throughout the U.S.
One thing that we have noticed is that people have started to travel again. And we do know that that is a way for these viruses to spread.
Dr. Jose Mercado says COVID-19 fatigue also plays a role. Adding transmission appears to be driven by younger individuals.
And the way to try and beat that is that we need to be vaccinated.
And doctors say that's all the more reason why people should get vaccinated. Right now, Granite Staters ages 16 and older qualify for a COVID-19 vaccine. Reporting in Manchester, I'm Tim Callery, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. TSA screen record number of passengers during pandemic. Let's take a listen to that video from ABC News.
Okay guys, Microsoft Surface Pro 7, MacBook Pro. Surface comes with the pen and touchscreen. Mac gave me this little bar, but just give me a whole touchscreen. Surface Pro has a detachable keyboard. Then there's the price. Yeah.
As we come on the air tonight, millions of Americans desperate to see loved ones this holiday weekend, traveling and packing airports. But health experts are raising alarms, worried about setbacks during this fragile moment in the pandemic. The TSA screening a record number of passengers, more than 1.5 million people hitting the skies Friday, ahead of what will be the second Easter since the pandemic began. At least 24 states seeing an increase in COVID cases. A former CDC director telling me this morning there will be a fourth surge. How large and how deadly depends on us. But there is progress in the race to vaccinate. More than 40% of adults have now received at least one vaccine dose. That's 103 million people. Those vaccinations reaching yet another record. More than 4 million reported shots going into arms in just 24 hours. Some experts saying this could be the last major holiday with travel restrictions if we stay vigilant. ABC's Trevor Ault leads us off here in New York.
Tonight, America's airports packed with travelers this Easter weekend.
We want to get back to some kind of normality.
The TSA reporting 1,580,000 people flying Friday, a single-day pandemic record, and a sharp rise from the 200,000 who flew this time last year. The CDC's new guidance saying fully vaccinated travelers who wear masks and social distance can fly at low risk to themselves.
Now I'm vaccinated and her dad is vaccinated and she's vaccinated and we're just so excited.
But non-essential travel is still discouraged, especially if you're not vaccinated. In the last 2 weeks, the number of new daily COVID infections jumping 20%, and experts fear it could climb far higher.
We will have a fourth surge, I'm afraid. How large and how deadly, that depends on us.
18 states and Puerto Rico already reporting hospitalizations rising at least 10%, including Michigan, tonight reporting more than 8,500 new cases, its highest daily case total since December, and doctors there say the patients they're treating are noticeably younger.
The people who are under 65, who have not, for the most part, been able to get vaccinated yet, are more at risk, and we're seeing them in the hospital.
However, the vaccine rollout is accelerating to a new milestone. The U.S. now averaging more than 3 million shots a day, and more states moving to reopen. California bringing back indoor events later this month, and with New York City venues now at 1/3 capacity, Jerry Seinfeld performing his first stand-up set in front of a live audience in more than a year, saying New York is coming back.
It felt like getting electrocuted in a good way. I didn't want to get emotional, but I'm really excited to be helping to bring it back.
Many encouraged to see some of the shows coming back. Trevor All joins us now from outside LaGuardia Airport. And Trevor, we see those vaccination numbers keep climbing. Right now, the CDC says fully vaccinated people should still wear masks in public. But Dr. Anthony Fauci says a change could be coming soon.
Oh, that's right, Whit. Dr. Fauci says he wouldn't be surprised if a number of studies happening right now showed people who are fully vaccinated can't spread the virus and thus wouldn't need to wear masks. He says looser restrictions are coming, but right now it's best to stay cautious and keep wearing them. Whit?
We'll have to stand by for some of that news. All right, Trevor, thank you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Thank you for joining us for this Sunday edition of the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all have a great rest of your Sunday, and I'll see you back here tomorrow for another newscast. I'll have a news report coming up in a little bit. Goodbye, everyone.